Hello guys, good afternoon. Today we are discussing some top 10 interview question based on DFS. So let's start discussing the question based on DFS. So first question is come in our mind is that DFS is an algorithm for the traversing or searching the tree or graph data structure. Okay, from one start at the root, selecting some arbitrary node as a root in a case of a graph, and explore as far as possible along each branches before backtracking. There are some important DFS question asked in many technical interview. So let's discuss our basic to advanced question. So we have only 10 question right now. So first question, first question is the first question. So let me so canvas. So the very first question. So very first question is there. Um, so very first question. Text size medium, large. Size is not including extra large. 51, 52, 50 and 50, 60. So not 60. Text. Okay. The very first question comes here is number one question. Number of islands. So number of island is a pretty basic and easy question of the DFS. So we have given an cross and grid consisting of L lands and L defined denoted as land. Okay. So what are inside the question? So let's write. So given the things given. So n cross m grid. Okay. And grid consisting of L denoted as land and W denoted as a water. So and we count the total number of islands present in a grid without modifying the original grid, and the island is defined as a group of connected L cells that are adjacent horizontally, vertically, and diagonally are surrounded by the water or the boundary of the grid. So let's see an example. Take a rectangle box. This is the box and line 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3. In this portion, if this is L, this is L, this is this land, water, water, and water, and water, land, water, water, and water, 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 and land, water, land, and land. So we see here that this portion, this land portion, this is the land 1, land 2, and this is portion land 3 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There is 4 island is here. So we clear from the this side will water, upward water, right side water, and downside will be water. Consider as the water. So if we start from here, we move here and here goes until we found the any water or not. So okay. So image will show land, water, and like this island is here. So using using DFS and additional matrix and using DFS is our basic idea. The main idea is to explore the land using the DFS and mark as all connected cell, and that for the same island to avoid the modifying the original grid. So we have to maintain a separate visited matrix that keep track of which cell has already visited or explored. The DFS is all possible direction: up, down, left, right. Okay, and four diagonal components. Okay, making that as this ensure that all parts of the island are connected once reach of time unrelated. It represents the start DFS to make all the cell. So sorry for disturbance. So what we have to do? Just traverse, simply traversing. So here is the code portion. What if we have to write the code? So what we have, right? So simply we have to count the number of island. So int um, count island. Okay. Counting island, before we start counting the island, we have given a 2D vector, 2D vector of character. Okay. Add node as grid. Okay. So int n is equal to grid dot size, and m denoted as the and rows, and this is column. Grid 0 dot size. Okay. Grid dot size. The rows and column are created. So we create a matrix to track the visible cell. So 2D vector of Boolean value, vector of bool is denoted as visited visited size of n, and visited visited bool size of column n, comma, firstly all as noted as false. So we make the we make a visited cell. So we have to count int island. How many island? So island land is equal to 0. Okay. This is a land portion, and if it is not visited of visited, not visited of I comma j, then this we have to run the DFS loop. In DFS loop, we have just passed the grid, the starting index, and starting row, starting column, and the visited matrix. Okay. If we visit all this, so island plus plus, and after that we have to return the island. So return the island. Okay. Size vector for loop, if it return an island. And so we make a so we make the DFS function to perform DFS for marking all the visitor cells. So we are performing DFS because we have to mark all the visitor cell as true or false. So void DFS. DFS, okay. DFS. So pass the vector of grid vector character and the rate known as grid, okay, or in starting row in column and visited cell the vector of boolean value and visited name as visited. Okay. So if firstly go and make visited row and column as a row. Okay. After that we make all the 8 possible direction vertical, horizontal and direction in stored in a vector. So vector of int dr for the rows curly braces uh, so -1 comma -1 comma -1 0 0 comma 1 comma 1 comma 1. So this is the rows and vector vector entire is equal to column is equal to -1 comma 0 comma 1 comma -1 comma 1 comma -1 comma 0 comma 1. So -1 -0 1 1 1 0. So we make through this make up here it cover all 8 possible direction. So explore all the connected neighbors. So we have to explore all the connected neighbors. So int k is equal to 0, k less than all the 8 direction we are moving k plus plus. Okay. So it new row is denoted a previous one adding rows value d of k. Okay. And new column is equal to old one plus dc of k. And we have to check is it is safe or not. If is out of bound, then we do not move forward. So we check is safe is safe grid new row new column or visited one. Okay. If it is safe, so move forward but explore the neighbor. So new row new column and visited cell visited. Okay. So we take the is safe function. We have to check is safe function. So we move forward for the checking if the all the rows and columns are visited or not. So create a third function. Tool save. हाँ हाँ ठीक है कैमरा आओ ऐसे कोई दिक्कत नहीं वेक्टर 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 ऑफ कैरेक्टर grid grid so int rows and int column and visited vector boolean expression at the is known as grid. So grid is passes int rc all passes is safe. We have to check is safe or not. So simply int n is equal to grid dot size and m is equal to grid of 0 dot size. Okay. We have to return this is inside the condition or not. So return. We have to check if is r is greater than is equal to 0 and r is less than is equal r is less than is equal less than and c is greater than is equal to 0 and c is less than m and grid of I grid of row and column is equal to land land and not visited, not visited, not visited, row and column, then it is true. So if it return true, so we move forward in this action. So let me write. So you see that first of all we have to initialize a size of row column, make a visited table, 2D matrix, count the island, run the folder for and if it's land, so unwritten, we run the DFS loop, count the island and everything. So DFS function in DFS function rows and column, first simply make visited marks in a direction column for the point and it is equal to traverse the all eight directions. If it all safe, then I run the loop for the new rows and new columns. And how we check it is safe or not? By checking through this function grid all our passes, sized passes. We check if row are greater than 0, less than n, column greater than 0, less than n. And this is land and if not visited, thus this condition true. So this one is correct. So, okay.